Brett Okamoto with ESPN for UFC 264 coverage here in Las Vegas, and I'm joined by Gilbert Burns, UFC welterweight, who of course is facing Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the co-main event. And Gilbert, first question for you is, this is your first appearance since coming off of the title fight in which you came up short. You have known the feeling of sort of chasing a title throughout your entire career, and now that you were there and you were close to it, does anything change going into this first fight after being that close?
No, the goal is still the same. I think I'm more mature now. Being the title fight, I learned so much. Even though it was a loss, but I think we learned more in the loss than in the win. But yeah, nothing changes. Still want to be the champion, and I think that's what makes that fight more intriguing because he wants the same. He wants another title shot. I want another title shot. So karate against jiu-jitsu, so it's gonna be a good one.
You said that one of the things that you learned from a mistake that you made in the title fight was you got too aggressive after you hurt him. How have you tried to learn how to you want to not be too aggressive in those moments, but also you're kind of known for your killer instinct. How do you find a balance between those two?
That was the key. Find that balance, and the first thing that I need to do to learn that lesson was why I felt very super emotional, and I started making those questions to myself. So why did I feel like that? And then I was digging deep, and as crazy as it sounds, I had to dig like very deep. Be a little out of social media, be with my family, stay in the room, and just asking that question. It took a little while to get the answer, but I did, and then I think that will be a little easier now to control myself, seeing the emotions that I have, seeing the things that I have. So now it's about control myself. So for sure, I still gonna be aggressive, but like you said, got to be a little more balanced through that.
So I got to ask, what was the answer that you came to? Why you were too aggressive?
Yeah, it was a lot of, was intense. It was a lot of things that was carrying with me. Since I was a little kid. So it's very personal, but yeah, I'm very like nowadays. I'm thankful that I was able to learn that and grow as a fighter, as a person, because I didn't know I had that much emotions on me. So it was good. It was a good lesson that I learned, and that I'm thankful for tomorrow and for the fight, and to be able to learn those lessons.
I remember we talked shortly after the fight, and obviously you were talking about you missed having Henry in the corner more than you thought you would, and then at that point when you and I spoke, you guys hadn't even really gone through the fight. I'm curious, when you did go through the fight, what were Henry's observations of your performance, and obviously knowing the two of you as well as he does, what did he say about the fight?
He said I started very aggressive, very good. That was a little bit on strategy, but he said as he was adjusting to my aggressiveness, I should have just choose sometimes let him come a little bit. So we talk a lot about technical mistakes that I did, but I the technical mistakes was a big deal, but was more emotional, was more angry, trying to get a finish. When as soon as I saw that I hurt him, and but at the end of the day, I see it was a great lesson, and at this camp right now, I got more intimacy with the coach. The relationship is getting better, and then we knowing each other better. So I think the lesson learned was priceless, And then having Henry, having Kami, and Daniel, and all my coaches, the same for all the team. Like they they've been doing a great job, and it was a great lesson learned.
What was this camp like, preparing for such a specific, unorthodox style, right? I mean, did it feel new? What was the camp like, the process of getting ready for Wonder Boy?
It feel new, it feel very new, but it feel great because it felt very great because I learned so much. I have to first thing when you fight a guy like that, you need to understand the style, and so I have to bring extra guys. So I bring Leon Jimenez and I bring Raymond Daniels, and the good thing is I learned so much, and those guys show me a lot of things that is gonna make a lot of I believe is gonna make a lot of difference in me going to the fight because not do they just mimic the style, but they show me a lot of concepts. So when I do this, I want to do this. I want you to react like that, and then I say, okay, how should I react? And I learned so much. I think one of the big deals for this camp, for sure, coming from a loss, you're always motivated to get a win. But the way I learned so much that I'm like, that was a great camp. On the beginning, it was very hard, but towards the end, I started picking stuff, and then I was liking. I felt I always fell in love with the striking, but now even more. But fell in love with all the MMA aspects, like with the takedowns, with the closing the distance, with the footwork. So I learned so much in this camp. I'm glad I had to face Wonderboy just for the learning through the camp. It's already paid off.
Was it a dangerous camp in terms of if you're sparring? Because that's what karate is, right? You're getting hit by shots that you don't see coming. What was it like kind of sparring with that style over the course of an entire camp?
You gotta be disciplined. That was the thing. You gotta be very disciplined with these guys. Hands up all the time. Great movement. We did a lot of footwork, and yeah, it is dangerous. Those feet coming from everywhere, every angle, body, a lot of good kicks on the body. Yeah, it was a hard one. It was a good one, but it was a hard one. Not easy at all.
Last thing for you, man, and I kind of just leave this open broadly to you. What do you think of your division right now? I mean, obviously Kamaru's the champ. He's defending his title. He's a reigning champ right now. You got Colby, who you wanted to fight. He hasn't fought in a while. Leon Edwards has just kind of went through something a little strange, honestly. He fought Bilal, and then the fight went the way it did, and then fighting Nate Diaz, who wasn't ranked. What do you make of this? I mean, how do you see everybody stacking up, and how do you think this division is going to shake out over the course of the next few months?
Yeah, it's a little chaos in the division. Kamaru has been a great champion, defending all the time. I think that fight we call might be to the end of the year. Leon Edwards right there. If Wonderboy beats me, he's right there too. If I beat him, I believe we still got to do a little bit more work. But yeah, I don't see a lot of more guys than me, Wonderboy, and Leon behind Colby and Kamaru. For sure, we got Vicente Luque fighting Michael Chiesa. That is going to be a good one too. But that's it. I think the division is between Leon, me, Colby, Vicente, and Chiesa. We are the guys behind, but anything can happen. Like a couple months ago, we saw Dana say, "Oh, I want to make Colby against Leon Edwards." Colby said no. Now Colby's next for the title. I think everything can change. With a great performance, everything can change. We never had a clean path to the title. It's all about the performance. I think Leon, if he had a finish, or if he was he did a little bit more. I'm not even criticizing. I think he did a great job beating Nate Diaz. But if he had a finish, I think that would make a big case for the title shot. But he didn't. So I think it's all about the performance. See, if you perform good, you can always change the fans' perspective, the Dana White perspective. He's always, these guys next. But if you go out there and make a good show, you make a good case, you're next. So I think nowadays with that division, it's all about the performance. Those guys show up on the day and do something like extraordinary, they might get a title shot.
Yeah, well, you're certainly going to have a lot of eyeballs on you fighting on a card with Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, so best of luck, and looking forward to the fight, man. Thank you for the time.